scream, but only bubbles escaped her lips, rising toward a surface that seemed impossibly far away. Panic seized her chest. Her body was sinking, heavy as stone. The blue water above grew darker. Her limbs stopped moving. Everything slowed down. The muffled sounds, the distorted lights dancing above, even her own heartbeat seemed to fade into nothing. Then, strong arms. Someone grabbed her from behind with powerful, sure hands. She felt herself being pulled upward with urgent, determined strokes, cutting through the water, breaking the surface. Air, light, sounds rushing back all at once. She was being dragged to the pool deck, her body limp and unresponsive. The warm concrete pressed against her back. Voices shouted in Korean around her, urgent and afraid. But she couldn't respond. Her chest wasn't moving. She wasn't breathing. Suddenly, pressure on her chest. Hard, rhythmic compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone counting in Korean, the voice deep and commanding. Then warmth on her lips. Someone was breathing air into her lungs, their mouth covering hers completely. 2 rescue breaths, filling her chest. Back to compressions. Tina's consciousness flickered. Awareness came in fragments. Strong hands pumping her chest with controlled force. Lips on hers again, soft but urgent, desperate to fill her lungs with life. Her eyes fluttered open. A face. The most handsome face she'd ever seen hovered above her. Dark, intense eyes focused completely on saving her life. Wet black hair dripping water onto her cheeks. Broad shoulders blocking out the sun. Defined, powerful arms working tirelessly. His lips returned to hers for another rescue breath. Then back to compressions, his hands interlaced, pressing down on her sternum. She could feel everything now through the haze of semi-consciousness. His athletic body leaning over her, his wet lifeguard uniform clinging to his broad chest and defined torso. As he leaned forward to give another rescue breath, she became acutely aware of his physical presence, his muscular frame evident in every movement. When he positioned himself for the next compression, kneeling between her legs to get better leverage, her half-conscious eyes caught sight of his wet shorts clinging to every contour of his body. The fabric left nothing to imagination. She could see the defined shape of his powerful thighs, and there, unmistakable even in her dying state, the thick, prominent outline pressing against the wet material. He was blessed. Generously blessed. The kind of size that made her oxygen-deprived brain short-circuit completely. Even facing death, some primal part of her registered this, catalogued it, burned it into her memory. His lips covered hers again. Another breath. She coughed. Violently. Water spewed from her mouth, burning her throat. Her chest heaved as she gasped for air, her body convulsing. That's it. Breathe. You're okay. His voice, deep, accented, beautiful. His strong hands turned her gently to her side as she coughed up more water, supporting her back with tender care. Breathe slowly. You're safe now. I've got you. The coughing subsided. She lay there gasping, trembling, alive. He helped her sit up slowly, and suddenly a towel was wrapped around her shoulders. Those same hands, no longer performing compressions, rubbed her arms to warm her. You're okay. Just breathe. Nice and slow. Tina's vision cleared. She looked up at her savior. Time stopped. He was beautiful. Chiseled jawline. Perfect skin. Dark eyes full of concern. Full lips that had just been on hers. She stared, unable to form words. Hey beautiful people. Welcome to K-Whisper TV, your #1 source for the most heartwarming Afro-Korean love stories. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our stories. Smash that like button if you're already hooked on Tina and Min-Yun's story. To our loyal subscribers, thank you. Drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Now back to Tina and her gorgeous Korean lifeguard. Up close, he was even more devastating. Water dripped from his hair onto his face. His wet uniform clung to every muscle, every curve of his athletic body. His name tag read, Min-Yun, lifeguard/CPR instructor. What's your name? He asked gently, checking her pulse at her wrist. Tina, she whispered. Tina, he repeated, his accent making her name sound beautiful. I'm Min Yoon. You're going to be okay. Other staff rushed over. Min Yoon stayed close, never letting go of her wrist. Your heart rate is elevated but steady. That's good, he said. Do you feel dizzy? Any chest pain? She shook her head, unable to look away from his eyes. Here. He offered her water. Small sips only. As she drank, he explained, you went under in the deep end. You were unconscious when I pulled you out. I had to perform CPR. You weren't breathing. The reality hit her. Those weren't dream kisses. That was CPR. This beautiful man had saved her life. How long was I? Maybe 2 minutes total. His jaw tightened. You're very lucky. A female staff member checked her blood pressure. Min Yoon watched the readings carefully. Everything looks stable, he said, but you should see a doctor. Near drowning can have delayed effects. Tina, do you know how to swim? Heat flooded her cheeks. No. I thought I could teach myself. YouTube videos. His eyes widened. You tried to teach yourself? In the deep end. I didn't mean to go to the deep end. I drifted and panicked when I couldn't touch bottom. He ran a hand through his wet hair. That's very dangerous. You could have died. I know. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. I'm just concerned. He paused. I strongly recommend proper swimming lessons. Never swim alone, especially not in the deep end. She nodded, mesmerized. His phone buzzed. I have to file an incident report. G1 will stay with you. He stood. Tina's eyes followed him. Tall, broad shoulders, athletic build. His wet uniform highlighted every muscle. She tried not to stare at the outline still visible in his shorts, but it was impossible to ignore. I'll be right back. Rest. Don't try to stand yet. She watched him walk away, confident stride, perfect posture. Ji-won sat beside her. That was scary. You're lucky Min Yoon saw you so quickly. He's the best lifeguard here. He's saved many people. He was very good, Tina managed. He used to be a competitive swimmer. Won medals in university. Now he teaches swimming. He loves helping people. Tina absorbed every detail. A competitive swimmer. That explained the body. You should take lessons from him. He's the best instructor. Very patient. The thought of spending more time with Min Yoon made her heart race. Through the office windows, she could see him on the phone. Even from a distance, she couldn't stop looking. What was wrong with her? She'd almost died, and all she could think about was how handsome he was. How his lips had felt. How his body had pressed against hers. The size of him she'd glimpsed through those wet shorts. She touched her lips, remembering. This was crazy. She'd almost drowned and came out of it with the biggest crush of her life. Paramedics arrived. The next 20 minutes were medical checks, questions, poking and prodding. Min Yoon stayed close, translating when needed. Finally, they declared her stable but recommended the hospital for observation. I'll be fine, Tina protested. I don't need the hospital. Min Yoon crossed his arms. The gesture made his biceps flex. Tina, please. For my peace of mind. You scared me today. The admission hung between them. He'd been scared. For her. Okay, I'll go. His shoulders relaxed with relief. Thank you. As paramedics helped her up, Min Yoon walked beside them. His hand hovered near her lower back, not quite touching but close enough to feel the heat. At the ambulance doors, he stopped. They stood close, very close. Tina. Yes. I'm really glad you're okay. He paused. Will you come back? To the pool. Her heart skipped. Should I? Yes. But next time, with an instructor. His cheeks colored slightly. I teach swimming lessons. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, 6 to 9. Saturday mornings, 9 to 12. If you're interested. Was he asking to see her again? I'll think about it, she managed. He smiled. Devastating. Perfect. Please do. I'd hate for today to scare you away from learning something that could save your life. And... He hesitated. I'd like to see you again, to make sure you're really okay. As the ambulance doors closed, the last thing she saw was Min Yoon standing there, wet clothes still clinging to that incredible body, watching her with an expression that made her entire body warm. Inside the ambulance, Tina's mind raced. She'd almost died today. And somehow, impossibly, she'd fallen completely in love with the man who'd saved her. Tina lay in her apartment in Gangnam, staring at the ceiling. Past midnight, but sleep was impossible. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Min Yoon's face above hers, felt his lips on hers, his hands on her chest. The hospital had cleared her. No complications, just soreness from the CPR and a stern lecture about water safety she'd barely heard. But she couldn't stop thinking about him. Min Yoon. His face. His voice. His body. The outline she'd seen through those wet shorts, impressive, unmistakable, seared into her memory. Her phone buzzed. Video call from Chioma. Tina. How was swimming? Tina sat up. Chioma. What's wrong? I almost died today. What? Tina told her everything. The drowning, the rescue, Min Yoon. But somehow the story became less about nearly dying and more about him. She described his face in excessive detail. His eyes. His jawline. His voice. His hands. His body. Chioma, this man looks like he fell from heaven. His shoulders, so broad. His arms, those muscles. And when he was doing CPR, I could see everything through his wet uniform. Okay, but... His shorts were wet, Chioma. Clinging to everything. I could see the shape of him. The outline. And he's big. Really, really big. Even half dead, I noticed. Girl, you were dying. I know. But when he was doing compressions, he had to kneel between my legs for leverage, and I could feel his whole body. The weight, the heat. And when he shifted, I felt him press against my leg. That part of him. And even dying, my brain was like, wow, he's blessed. Chioma burst out laughing. You were checking out his package while drowning? I can't help what my eyes saw. It was right there. Tina fell back on her pillows. What's wrong with me? I should be traumatized. Instead I'm thinking about my sexy lifeguard and how good his lips tasted and how big he is and how I want to climb him like a tree. They laughed until tears streamed down their faces. Only you, Tina. Only you could almost die and come out thirsty. It's not just physical, Tina said softly. When he looked at me, when he said my name, I felt something real. Like I was supposed to almost drown to meet him. That's trauma talking. Maybe. But it feels real. I can't stop thinking about him. His face, his voice, his hands, his body. She touched her lips. I've never felt like this. Not this fast, not this intense. So what are you going to do? Get his number. Ask him out. Tina's expression hardened. You know where I'm from. Ladies don't chase guys. Never. You're in Seoul now. Doesn't matter. I'm still Nigerian. I have my pride, my dignity. Men pursue women. Not the other way around. That's how it works. Your pride will keep you single forever. Then I'll be single with my dignity intact. I'm not throwing myself at a man. I'm not begging for attention. That's not who I am. But she thought about his smile, his voice asking if she'd come back. Besides, he asked if I'd come back. He told me about his lessons. That's interest, right? Maybe. Or maybe he's just being professional. Ji-won said he likes me. She said she's never seen him act like that with anyone. Chioma perked up. So he is interested. Maybe. I don't know. But there were moments. She remembered how his eyes had lingered on her face, the warmth in his voice. So what's the plan? I'll go back to the pool. To learn swimming? Yes, and to see him again. To give him opportunities to talk to me. That's not chasing, Chioma pointed out. Exactly. I'm just making myself available. That's different. They argued for another 20 minutes before saying goodnight. After hanging up, Tina lay in bed, thinking. She couldn't stop seeing his face, feeling his touch, remembering his body pressed against hers. The size of him that she'd glimpsed, the strength in his arms, the gentleness in his eyes. She'd never felt attraction this strong, this physical. She picked up her phone and found the pool's website. Min Yoon, lead swimming instructor and senior lifeguard, former national team member, lessons. Tuesday and Thursday, June 9 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. She screenshot the page, then set 3 alarms for morning. She was going shopping. If she was going back, she was going to look absolutely incredible. Not to chase him, never, but to ensure he couldn't possibly miss her. There was a difference between chasing and being strategically irresistible. She hoped. 3 days later, Tina stood before her mirror in a stunning navy blue one-piece with strategic cutouts that showed just enough skin. Paired with a sheer white cover-up, gold jewelry, perfect makeup, hair slicked back in an elegant bun. She looked amazing and she knew it. Arriving at the pool at 11 a.m., she immediately scanned for Min Yoon. There, on the lifeguard stand, sunglasses on, watching the pool with intense focus. Her heart flipped. She chose a lounge chair with a perfect view, arranged herself artfully, pulled out a book, and waited. An hour passed. He rotated stations but never looked her way. When he finally walked past her chair heading to the equipment shed, she adjusted her position, crossed her legs just so. Stopped. Tina, you came back. Hi, Min Yoon. How are you feeling? Any problems from the other day? No, I'm fine. Totally fine. Good. I'm glad. He paused. Are you swimming today? Maybe later. Just relaxing now. Awkward silence. She willed him to sit, to stay, to talk. Well, be careful if you go in. Stay shallow. I will. Have you thought about lessons? Yes, actually. I was looking at the schedule. I have openings Tuesday at 6 if you're interested. That could work. Great. Sign up at the front desk. He smiled briefly. I'll let you get back to your book. And he walked away. Tina stared after him. That was it. After all her effort, she looked down and realized her book was upside down. Perfect. The next day, she tried again. Different swimsuit, a deep purple that made her skin glow. She positioned herself near where he was demonstrating proper diving technique to some kids. When he finished, she approached. That was impressive. You make it look so easy. He smiled. Years of practice. Thank you. You must have been really good. Competitively, I mean. I did okay. Made nationals a few times. That's amazing. Thanks. He glanced at the pool. Are you here to swim or? Just watching. Learning. Well, the best way to learn is to actually get in the water. With an instructor. He gave her a meaningful look. Have you signed up for lessons yet? Not yet. Soon. Good. I'd feel better knowing you're learning properly. His radio crackled. Excuse me, I need to check that. He walked away, leaving her standing there. Again. Day 3. She wore her most flattering swimsuit, emerald green with a plunging neckline. She accidentally dropped her sunglasses near his station. He picked them up, handed them to her. Careful. Don't want these falling in the pool. Thank you. You're always saving me, she said, trying for flirty. He smiled politely. Just doing my job. You're very good at it. I try. Another pause. She scrambled for something to say. The weather's been nice lately. Yes, perfect for swimming. Do you ever swim? For fun, I mean. Early mornings, before the pool opens. It's peaceful. That sounds wonderful. It is. His eyes drifted to the pool. I should get back. Lifeguard rotation. And once again, he left. Tina wanted to scream. She watched him climb back onto the stand, his body moving with athletic grace. His uniform today was especially fitted, highlighting his broad shoulders, narrow waist, powerful thighs. She remembered exactly what was underneath that uniform, the impressive outline she'd seen that first day. Other women were watching him too. A group of college girls giggling and pointing. A woman in her 30s doing laps but constantly glancing at his station. And he was professional with all of them. Polite, distant, untouchable. What was she doing wrong? Day 4. She was running out of ideas and swimsuits. She asked him about water safety protocols. He explained thoroughly, professionally, then excused himself to help an elderly swimmer. She complimented his whistle technique. Yes, she was that desperate. He thanked her and moved to a different station. She tried asking about the pool's filtration system, of all things. He directed her to the facilities manager. By the end of the week, Tina was frustrated, exhausted, and no closer to getting Min Yoon to see her as anything other than a pool patron who needed swimming lessons. She'd tried everything short of actually asking him out, which she would never do, and nothing worked. That night, video calling with Chioma, she vented. I don't understand. I look good. I'm friendly. I'm there every single day. What more can I do without actually chasing him? Maybe just ask him out? No. I can't. I won't. Then what? Tina was quiet for a long moment. Then an idea formed. Dangerous. Desperate. Completely insane. But she was out of options. I know what to do, she said slowly. What? I'm going to drown again. What? Tina, no. Not really drown. Just pretend. Like before, he'll rescue me, do CPR, we'll have that moment again. That connection. But this time I'll be conscious to actually talk to him after. That's crazy. I know. But I'm desperate. And it worked before. He asked if I'd come back, remember? Something about that moment created a connection. I need to recreate it. Tina. It's not chasing. It's creating an opportunity. There's a difference. Chioma sighed. Your logic is so twisted. But Tina had already made up her mind. Tomorrow, she would drown again. Fake drown. What could possibly go wrong? Tina arrived at the pool the next day with her heart pounding. She'd barely slept, running through the plan over and over. She'd swim out to the deep end. Pretend to struggle. Min Yoon would see her, dive in, pull her out. Maybe CPR again if she played it right, held her breath long enough. Then that moment of connection, his hands on her, his concern, the opportunity to really talk. It was foolproof. Sort of. She wore her original navy swimsuit, the one from that first day. For luck. Min Yoon was on the main lifeguard stand. Perfect positioning. He'd definitely see her. Tina slipped into the water at the shallow end, pretending to warm up with some basic strokes. She caught his eye briefly. He nodded acknowledgement. Good. He knew she was here. She gradually made her way deeper. Waist deep. Chest deep. Then she pushed off toward the deep end, her heart racing with adrenaline and fear. What if this went wrong? What if he didn't see her? What if? No. Focus. This would work. It had to. She reached the deep end and began her performance, flailing her arms, splashing, making distressed sounds. A whistle blew. Yes, it was working. She heard a splash, someone diving in. Relief flooded through her. Min Yoon was coming. In seconds, she'd be in his arms again, feel his strength, his warmth. Strong hands grabbed her. But something was wrong. The hands were smaller. The grip different. Tina opened her eyes underwater and her heart sank. Ji-won. The female lifeguard. It was Ji-won swimming toward her, not Min Yoon. No. No, no, no. Ji-won reached her with expert efficiency, hooking an arm under Tina's shoulder in a textbook rescue hold. I've got you. Relax. I'm fine. Tina tried to pull away. Really, I'm But Ji-won was already swimming them both toward the edge with powerful strokes. This was not the plan. This was the opposite of the plan. They reached the pool deck. Ji-won helped Tina out with practiced ease, already reaching for her medical kit. Just breathe. Let me check you over. No, really, I don't need. Standard procedure. Please sit. Tina sat on the deck, dripping, furious, mortified. Other pool-goers were staring. This was a disaster. Ji-won knelt beside her, pulling out a stethoscope. I'm going to listen to your lungs. Make sure you didn't aspirate any water. I'm fine, Tina said more forcefully. Ji-won looked up, frowning. You were struggling in the deep end. You could have drowned. Please let me. I said I'm fine. Tina's frustration boiled over. She jerked away from Ji-won's reaching hands. Ji-won's eyes widened, hurt and confused. I'm trying to help you. Tina felt terrible immediately, but before she could apologize, running footsteps approached. Min-yoon arrived, slightly breathless. What happened? Tina. He looked between them, taking in the scene. Tina dripping and agitated, Ji-won kneeling with her medical kit, the crowd watching. She was struggling in the deep end, Ji-won explained, her voice professional despite the hurt in her eyes. I pulled her out, but she won't let me examine her. Min-yoon's gaze settled on Tina, and something in his expression made her stomach drop. Not just concern. Confusion. Suspicion. Tina, he said quietly. What's going on? Nothing. I'm fine. I lost my footing. In the deep end? His eyes searched hers. Where you can't touch bottom? I thought I could make it across. You were swimming fine yesterday. I watched you do 3 laps without any trouble. The crowd was growing. Someone muttered in Korean. Tina caught the word attention, probably attention seeker. Her face burned with humiliation. Can we talk? Min-yoon said, not unkindly. Privately. He offered his hand. After a moment's hesitation, Tina took it. His palm was warm, strong, and the touch sent electricity through her despite her embarrassment. He helped her up and guided her away from the crowd, away from Ji-won's hurt expression, to a quiet corner near the equipment shed. They sat on a bench. Min-yoon grabbed 2 towels, handing her one. For a long moment, he said nothing. Just looked at her with those dark, intelligent eyes. Finally, you weren't drowning, were you? Tina's throat tightened. She couldn't speak. Tina. His voice was gentle. I've been a lifeguard for 5 years. I know what real drowning looks like. And I watched you swim yesterday. You're not great, but you're competent enough for the deep end if you're careful. She stared at her hands. So I'll ask again. What's really going on? The kindness in his voice broke something in her. Tears pricked her eyes. This was humiliating. Worse than she'd imagined. Her voice cracked. I wanted to see you. You see me every day. You've been here every day this week. But you don't see me, she whispered. You're always professional, always distant. I try to talk to you and you walk away. I smile at you and you barely notice. She stopped herself before admitting she'd been trying to get his attention all week. So you pretended to drown? He didn't sound angry. Just confused. I know it's stupid. I know it's crazy. But that day when you saved me, when you did CPR, there was this connection. I felt it. And I thought maybe if... She couldn't finish. Min-yoon was quiet for a long moment. Then, incredibly, he laughed. Not mocking. Warm. Genuine. Tina, he said, and his smile was devastating. If you wanted to talk to me, you could have just said hello. She looked up at him, confused by his reaction. You think I haven't noticed you? He continued. You think I haven't seen you watching me all week? Her heart stopped. I noticed you the moment you walked in that first day after the accident. Beautiful woman in a navy swimsuit who keeps finding reasons to be near my station. Who asks questions about diving techniques and pool filtration systems. His smile widened. who drops her sunglasses at my feet and makes small talk about the weather. You knew. Of course I knew. He shifted closer on the bench. But you barely spoke to me. Always just a few words, then you'd walk away or stop talking. I thought you were just being polite. That you weren't really interested. Not interested? Tina's voice rose. I've been here every day. Yes, but you never. I don't know, you never gave me an opening. Every conversation felt like you were checking a box. Say hi to the lifeguard, ask a question, done. They stared at each other. I thought you weren't interested, Tina said. I thought the same about you. Another beat of silence. Then they both started laughing. Real laughter, the absurdity of it all hitting them at once. We're idiots, Tina said. Complete idiots, Min-yoon agreed. The laughter faded into something softer. They sat close together on the bench, their knees almost touching, the noise of the pool fading into background. Can I ask you something? Min-yoon said. Anything. Why didn't you just ask me out? Or ask for my number? Tina's expression became serious. Where I'm from, ladies don't chase guys. We don't ask men out. We don't pursue. It's not our way. We wait for men to make the first move. Understanding dawned in his eyes. Cultural thing. And pride. And how I was raised. My mother would be horrified if she knew I'd been strategically positioning myself all week. Is that what you call it? Strategic positioning. It sounds better than stalking. He laughed again. For the record, I found it charming, if a little confusing. And the fake drowning? That was. He considered. Bold, desperate, flattering. Mortifying is the word you're looking for. That too. He smiled. But also kind of sweet. No one's ever pretended to drown for me before. Is that your standard for romance? Fake near-death experiences? Apparently. They grinned at each other. Then Min-yoon's expression became more serious. Tina, I need you to know something. That day I saved you? When I was doing CPR. Yes. I felt it too. That connection you mentioned. When you opened your eyes and looked at me, something. He struggled for words. Something in me recognized something in you. I know that sounds crazy. It doesn't, she whispered. I wanted to ask you out that day, but you just almost died. It felt inappropriate, like I'd be taking advantage. So I decided to wait, give you space, see if you came back. And you did. Every day. But then you'd barely talk to me, and I thought I'd imagined the whole thing. You didn't imagine it. Good to know. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. I should probably apologize to G1, Tina said. I was rude. She was just trying to help, and I almost slapped her hand away. Yes. I saw. Min-yoon's eyes danced with amusement. She'll understand once I explain. She actually told me yesterday that she thought you liked me. She did. Said she'd never seen someone try so hard to casually run into someone. Her words. Tina covered her face with her hands. I'm so obvious. Adorably obvious. He gently pulled her hands away from her face. Tina. Yes. I have 2 hours before my next shift. Would you like to get coffee with me? Or lunch? Talk properly, without the pool and the lifeguard duties and the fake drowning attempts. Her heart soared. Really. Unless you'd prefer to plan another elaborate rescue scenario. Coffee sounds perfect. Good. He stood, offering his hand again. Let me just tell G1 I'm taking my break. And you should apologize to her. I will. Definitely. As Min-yoon walked toward G1, Tina watched him go, her heart full. She'd made a complete fool of herself, nearly assaulted a kind woman trying to help her, and created a minor scene at a public pool. But somehow, impossibly, it had worked. Not the plan. The plan had been a disaster. But the truth had worked. The honesty. The admission. Maybe that was the lesson. Maybe she'd been going about this all wrong. All the strategic positioning, the careful conversations, the pride-preserving distance, none of it had worked as well as just being honest about what she wanted. She watched Min Yoon explain something to Ji-won, saw Ji-won glance over at her and smile, a real smile, understanding and perhaps a little amused, and felt relief wash over her. Then Min Yoon was walking back, changed into civilian clothes, jeans and a simple white t-shirt that somehow looked better on him than the lifeguard uniform, and her breath caught. He was beautiful. Not just handsome. Beautiful. And he wanted to have coffee with her. Ready? He asked, extending his hand. Tina took it. Ready. The cafe was small, tucked into a quiet side street in Gangnam. Min Yoon led her to a corner table with practiced ease, clearly a regular. The coffee here is actually good, he said as they sat. Not the watered-down stuff from the pool vending machine. A waitress approached, spoke to Min Yoon in rapid Korean. He responded, then turned to Tina. Any preferences? They have amazing pastries too. Just coffee is fine. However you take yours. He ordered in Korean, and the waitress left with a smile. Alone at the table, Tina suddenly felt nervous. This was different from the pool. Here, there was no water to hide in, no lifeguard duties for him to escape to. Just the two of them, facing each other, expected to talk. So, Min Yoon started, leaning back in his chair, completely at ease. Tell me about Nigeria. About Lagos. I've never been to Africa. And just like that, the nerves dissolved. Tina told him about home. The noise, the chaos, the energy of Lagos. The markets bursting with color and sound. The beaches at sunset. The food, the music, the family gatherings that lasted for days. Her voice grew animated, hands gesturing as she painted pictures with words. Min Yoon listened intently, asking questions, genuinely interested. His eyes never left her face. It sounds vibrant, he said when she paused. So different from Seoul. Very different. Seoul is organized, quiet. Everything works. In Lagos, you learn to adapt, to improvise. Nothing's ever quite on time, but somehow everything gets done. Do you miss it? Every day. But I wanted this, the job, the adventure, the chance to see the world. My family didn't understand at first. Why would I leave to come here? But I needed to prove I could do it. Stand on my own. That's brave. Or stupid, depending on who you ask. She smiled. My mother thinks I'm crazy. She calls every day asking when I'm coming home. And I tell her not yet. Maybe someday, but not yet. The coffee arrived. Tina took a sip. He was right, it was excellent. What about you? She asked. Tell me about Busan. About competitive swimming. About how you ended up here. Min Yoon's turn. He told her about growing up near the ocean, learning to swim before he could walk. His father had been a fisherman, his mother a teacher. They'd recognized his talent early, pushed him into competitive swimming. I was good, he said without arrogance, just stating fact. Made the national team at 16. Competed internationally. Everyone thought I'd go to the Olympics. What happened? I got injured. Shoulder. Junior year of university. The surgery was successful, but I lost that competitive edge. Tenths of seconds matter at that level, and I'd lost more than that. He shrugged. It devastated me at first. Swimming was my whole identity. But then I discovered I loved teaching more than competing. Loved helping people overcome their fears, learn something new. Found purpose in saving lives instead of winning races. That's beautiful. It's honest. He met her eyes. I'm happier now than I ever was competing. Less glory, maybe, but more meaning. They talked for 2 hours. About everything. Their families, their dreams, their fears. Tina, I need to be honest about something. Her heart skipped. Okay. When you were lying there unconscious, when I was doing CPR, He hesitated, cheeks coloring. This is embarrassing.
Tell me.
I couldn't help noticing how beautiful you were. Even in that moment, focused on saving you, part of my brain registered it. Your face, your everything. And I felt guilty about it because you were dying and I was supposed to be professional, but I noticed you too, Tina interrupted.
What?
Heat flooded her face, but she pushed forward. When you were doing CPR, your body, your face, all of you, and she couldn't believe she was saying this. Your wet clothes. They were clinging to you. I could see everything. The shape of you. And even dying, even oxygen deprived, I noticed. Min Yun's eyes widened. You noticed. How could I not? It was right there. She buried her face in her hands. This is so inappropriate. No, he said, gently pulling her hands away. It's honest. And for what it's worth, I noticed you noticing.
You did not.
I did. Your eyes went wide for a second before you started coughing. I thought it was the water, but looking back. He grinned. Maybe not just the water. They both burst out laughing, the tension breaking. We're terrible people, Tina said. The worst. Having inappropriate thoughts during a medical emergency. You started it by being unfairly attractive while saving my life. You started it by almost drowning in the first place. Fair point. They grinned at each other across the table, hands still intertwined. The cafe had emptied around them, the afternoon sun slanting through windows. Tina glanced at the time and gasped. It's past 4. Don't you have a shift? Min Yoon checked his watch. Damn. Yes, I should go. But he didn't move. I don't want to go. I don't want you to go either. Have dinner with me? Tonight, after my shift ends at 9. Yes, absolutely yes. Good. He stood reluctantly, still holding her hand. Meet me at the pool at 9? I'll be there. He pulled her to her feet. They stood close in the empty cafe, the air between them charged. Tina. Yes. I'm really glad you almost drowned. Both times. She laughed. That's a terrible thing to be glad about. But true. He lifted her hand and kissed her knuckles, a gesture both old-fashioned and devastatingly romantic. 9 o'clock. I'll be there. He left, and Tina sank back into her chair, her hand tingling where his lips had been, her heart racing, her mind spinning. This was really happening. Tina spent 3 hours getting ready for dinner. She tried on 7 different outfits before settling on a simple black dress that hugged her curves without being too much. Gold jewelry, heels, natural makeup that made her skin glow. At exactly 8:55 p.m., she arrived at the pool. Min Yoon was in the office, changing out of his uniform. Through the glass, she watched him pull on a black button-down shirt, jeans. He ran his fingers through his hair, checked his reflection. Then he saw her watching and smiled, that devastating smile that made her knees weak. He emerged from the office looking impossibly handsome. The black shirt fit him perfectly, highlighting his broad shoulders and narrow waist. His hair was still slightly damp from a quick shower. You look beautiful, he said, his eyes taking her in from head to toe. You clean up nice yourself. I try. He offered his arm. Hungry. Starving. He took her to a Korean barbecue place, upscale but not intimidating, the kind of local spot tourists never found. They were seated in a private booth, the grill already heating. Min Yoon ordered in Korean, then translated for her, explaining each dish. The food came quickly, thin slices of marinated beef, pork belly, vegetables, banchan. He cooked for her, placing perfectly grilled meat on her plate, showing her how to wrap it in lettuce with sauce and garlic. Their fingers brushed with each exchange. Every touch felt electric. This is incredible, Tina said around a mouthful of food. We don't have anything like this in Lagos. What do you have? She told him about Nigerian cuisine, the spices and flavors, the communal way of eating. He listened, fascinated, asking questions. You'll have to cook for me sometime, he said. Are you sure? Nigerian food is spicy. Like, really spicy. I can handle spicy. We'll see. They ate and talked, the conversation flowing easily. No awkward silences, no forced small talk. Just genuine connection, laughter, the kind of comfort that usually took months to build. Min-yoon told her about his family, his two younger sisters who constantly teased him about being single. His mother who wanted grandchildren yesterday. His father who still fished every morning despite being retired. They sound wonderful, Tina said.
They are.
Overwhelming, but wonderful. What about yours? Tina described her family, her overprotective older brothers, her mother who ran the household with an iron fist disguised as love, her father who was quiet but saw everything. They'd probably hate that I'm here with you, she admitted.
Why?
You're not Nigerian. My mother has opinions about who I should date.
Only Nigerian men?
Preferably Igbo men from good families with respectable jobs. I'm Korean, not Igbo.
But I do have a respectable job.
Saving lives. I think that qualifies. Good to know I meet at least one criterion. They laughed, but Tina felt a small pang of worry. Her family would have opinions. Strong opinions. But that was a problem for later. Right now, she was here with Min-yoon, and that was all that mattered. After dinner, he suggested a walk. They strolled along the Han River, the city lights reflecting on the water, the night warm and perfect. This is one of my favorite places, Min-yoon said. I come here to think. To clear my head.
It's beautiful.
Yes. But he was looking at her, not the river. They stopped at a bridge, leaning against the railing, watching the water flow beneath. Tina, Min-yoon said softly, can I ask you something serious? Her heart quickened. Of course. What are you looking for? With this, with us? Are you just having fun in Seoul before you go back to Nigeria?
Because I need to know now, before I...
He trailed off.
Before you what?
Before I fall for you completely. The honesty in his voice, the vulnerability, took her breath away. I don't know what I'm looking for long-term, she admitted. My job contract is for 2 years. After that, I might go home or I might stay, or I might go somewhere else entirely. I don't have it all figured out.
But right now,
what do you want right now? She turned to face him fully. Right now, I want you. I want this. Whatever this is or becomes. I want to see where it goes.
Even not knowing the ending?
Especially not knowing the ending. Life's too short to miss out on something because you can't see the whole picture. He smiled.
When did you get so wise?
Almost drowning gives you perspective. He laughed. Then his expression became serious again.
I need to tell you something too.
Okay. I don't do casual. If we do this, I'm all in. I don't date just to pass time or have fun. I date to find a partner, someone to build something with. So if that's not what you want...
It is, she interrupted.
I don't do casual either. Where I'm from, dating means commitment. Means you're serious.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't serious.
Relief flooded his face. Good. Because I've been thinking about you non-stop since the day I pulled you from that pool. And after today, after talking with you, getting to know you, Tina, I really like you. I really like you too. They stood facing each other on the bridge, the city glowing around them, the moment stretching between them like something tangible. I want to kiss you, Min-yoon said quietly. Not CPR this time. A real kiss.
I've been waiting for you to say that.
He stepped closer, his hand coming up to cup her face. His thumb brushed her cheekbone, tender and reverent. Tell me if you want me to stop.
Don't stop.
He leaned in slowly, giving her time to change her mind, to pull away. But she didn't. She tilted her face up, her eyes closing, her breath catching. When his lips touched hers, it was nothing like CPR. This was soft, sweet, exploratory. His lips moving against hers with gentle pressure, learning the shape and taste of her. One hand cradled her face, the other settling at her waist, pulling her closer. Tina's hands found his chest, feeling his heartbeat racing beneath her palms. She pressed closer, deepening the kiss, and he responded with a low sound that went straight through her. The kiss intensified. His tongue traced her lower lip, asking permission. She granted it, and suddenly they were lost in each other. His hand slid from her waist to her lower back, pressing her against him. She could feel the solid muscle of his body, the heat radiating from him. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Min Yoon rested his forehead against hers. "Wow," he whispered. "Yeah, wow. So much better than CPR." She laughed breathlessly. "Definitely better." They kissed again and again, unable to stop now that they'd started. Against the bridge railing, Min Yun's body pressed against hers, and she became very aware of every point of contact. His chest against hers, his thigh between her legs, his hands on her waist and in her hair. And when he shifted closer, she felt the evidence of his desire pressing against her hip. Unmistakable, impressive, the same size and shape she'd glimpsed that first day when his wet clothes had hidden nothing. He pulled back slightly, awareness in his eyes. "Sorry, Don't apologize," she said, her voice husky. "I like knowing I affect you." His eyes darkened. "You have no idea how much." "Show me." He kissed her again, harder this time, with less restraint. His hand slid up her side, thumb brushing the curve of her breast through her dress. She gasped against his mouth, arching into the touch. "Tina," he breathed against her lips. "We should stop. We're in public." She looked around. The bridge was mostly empty, just a few distant pedestrians. But he was right. "Come home with me," she said impulsively. He froze. "What?" "My apartment. It's not far. Come with me." "Tina." He pulled back to look at her properly. "Are you sure? We just started this today. I don't want to rush." "I'm sure. I've been sure since the moment you saved my life. I want you, Min Yoon. I want this." Desire and restraint warred in his expression. "I want you too. God, you have no idea. But I don't want you to regret this tomorrow." "I won't." "How do you know?" "Because I've never been more certain of anything in my life." He searched her eyes, looking for doubt, finding none. "Okay," he said finally. "Yes. Let's go." They practically ran to catch a taxi, hands clasped, anticipation building with every passing second. In the taxi, they sat close but didn't touch, the air thick with unspoken desire. Min Yun's hand rested on her thigh, innocent but burning through the fabric of her dress. She covered it with her own hand, intertwining their fingers. 10 minutes felt like an eternity. Finally, they arrived at her building. She paid the driver with shaking hands. Min Yoon helped her out, his hand on her lower back, proprietary and thrilling. In the elevator, alone, he pushed her gently against the wall and kissed her deeply. She moaned into his mouth, her hands fisting in his shirt. The elevator dinged. Her floor. She fumbled with her keys, finally got the door open. They stumbled inside, kissing, hands everywhere, desperate after hours of restraint. The door closed behind them, and Tina knew there was no going back. Not that she wanted to. Sunlight streamed through the curtains, warm on Tina's face. She stirred, becoming aware of warmth beside her, an arm draped across her waist, breath on her neck. Min Yoon. Last night came flooding back. Every touch, every kiss, every whispered word. The way he'd undressed her slowly, reverently, like she was something precious. The way she'd explored every inch of his body, finally seeing what those wet clothes had only hinted at. The way he'd made love to her with a combination of tenderness and passion that had left her breathless. And yes, Ji-won had been right about competitive swimmers. His stamina was incredible. She smiled, remembering, her body pleasantly sore. Min Yoon stirred behind her, his arm tightening around her waist, pulling her back against his chest. She felt him wake fully, felt the moment he remembered where he was. "Morning," he murmured against her neck, his voice rough with sleep. "Morning. How are you feeling?" "Perfect. You?" "Same." He pressed a kiss to her shoulder. "No regrets." "None." "You?" "Not a single one." Another kiss, this time on her neck. "Best fake drowning ever." She laughed, turning in his arms to face him. His hair was adorably mussed, his eyes still heavy with sleep, a small smile playing on his lips. "You're beautiful," she said.
That's my line.
"Can't a woman appreciate her, whatever you are?" "Boyfriend," he suggested. "I mean, after last night, I think we're past casual dating." Warmth spread through her chest. "Boyfriend. I like that. Good."
Because I'm not sharing.
He kissed her, slow and deep, and she felt desire stirring again. His body responded too, pressing against her hip, ready, eager.
Again? She asked, amused.
"Can't help it. You're naked in my arms. This is a natural response. We just... I know. But I want you again. And again.
And possibly again after that."
She laughed, pushing him onto his back and climbing over him. "Well, since you're so enthusiastic." He groaned, his hands gripping her hips. "You're going to kill me." What a way to go. Later, wrapped in sheets, thoroughly satisfied and starving, they ordered delivery. Sat on her bed eating kimchi fried rice straight from the containers, talking and laughing. "I should probably go," Min-yoon said eventually, though he made no move to leave. "I have a shift this afternoon."
What time?
3.
It's 11 now.
So you have time.
For what?
She raised an eyebrow. He grinned. "You're insatiable. You started this." "Fair point." He pulled her close again, rice containers forgotten. At 2 o'clock, they finally, reluctantly, got dressed. Min-yoon borrowed a shirt. His from last night was wrinkled beyond repair, and it hung loose on him, making him look younger, vulnerable. "I'll wash this and bring it back," he said. "Keep it.
Looks better on you anyway."
At the door, he kissed her goodbye. "Dinner tonight? After my shift?" "Yes. I'll text you when I'm done." "Okay." He kissed her again, deeper.
"I don't want to go." "Then don't."
"Tempting. But I actually like my job." "Fine. Go save lives. Be a hero."
"I'd rather stay here with you." Smooth talker.
One more kiss, then he forced himself out the door. Tina watched him go, her heart full. This was happening. They were really doing this. She spent the rest of the afternoon floating on air, replaying every moment, every touch, every whispered word. When Chioma called for their daily check-in, Tina answered glowing. "You look different," Chioma said immediately. "What happened?" "I had dinner with Min-yoon." And breakfast with him too." Chioma's eyes went huge. "Tina, you didn't." "I did." "Oh my God.
Tell me everything."
And Tina did, blushing and laughing, leaving out the most intimate details but sharing enough that Chioma was squealing with excitement. "I told you."
"I told you to just ask him out."
"I didn't ask him out."
"He asked me." "After you fake drowned to get his attention."
Semantics. They laughed, talking for an hour, Chioma demanding every detail of the date, the kiss, the decision to bring him home. "So he's your boyfriend now?" "Yes. Officially. Tina has a Korean boyfriend."
"Wait till your mother hears."
Tina's smile faded slightly. "Let's not tell her yet. Not until I figure out how to explain this. She's going to have opinions." "I know. But that's future Tina's problem. Present Tina is just going to enjoy this." "Fair enough. But you're happy."
"Chioma, I've never been happier."
"Then I'm happy for you. Even if you did have to almost drown twice to get here." After they hung up, Tina lay back on her bed, the same bed where Min-yoon had made love to her hours ago, and smiled at the ceiling. Her phone buzzed. "Min-yoon, can't stop thinking about you. This shift is going to be torture." "Tina, good. Suffer like I'm suffering without you." "Min-yoon, cruel woman. I knew you were dangerous." "Tina, you have no idea." "Min-yoon, can't wait to find out. See you at 9? "Tina, I'll be counting the minutes." She held the phone to her chest, grinning like a fool. This was really happening. And it was perfect. 2 weeks flew by in a blur of stolen moments and late-night dinners. Min Yun's schedule was demanding, early morning shifts, evening classes, weekend lessons, but they made it work. Breakfast before his shifts, dinner after, lazy Sunday mornings when he had the day off. Tina had never been happier. On a Saturday afternoon, Min Yun texted her, "My friends want to meet you. Dinner tonight?" Her stomach flipped. Meeting the friends was a big step. "Tina, are you sure they want to meet me or are you forcing them?" Min Yun, "Both? They're curious. I talk about you constantly apparently." Tina, "You talk about me?" Min Yun, "All the time. They're sick of it. Please come save me from their teasing." Tina, "Fine. But you owe me." Min Yun, "I'll make it up to you later." Smirking face. Tina, "Promises, promises." That evening, nervous and excited, Tina met Min Yun at a trendy restaurant in Itaewon. He was already there, waiting outside, and his face lit up when he saw her. "You look amazing," he said, kissing her cheek. "I'm terrified." "Don't be. They're going to love you." Inside, 3 people sat at a table, 2 men and a woman, all around Min Yun's age, all watching with undisguised curiosity as they approached. "Everyone, this is Tina," Min Yun said, his hand on her lower back. "Tina, this is Jihoon, Miho, and Soyeon." "The famous Tina." Soyeon stood, shaking Tina's hand enthusiastically. "We've heard so much about you. All good things, I hope?" "Mostly," Jihoon said with a grin. "Min Yun's been useless since he met you. Can't focus on anything. It's pathetic." "Shut up," Min Yun muttered, but he was smiling. They sat, ordered drinks, and immediately the questions started. "So you're from Nigeria?" Miho asked. "Yes, Lagos." "That's so cool. What brought you to Seoul?" Tina explained about her job, her desire to travel, her sense of adventure. They listened, genuinely interested, asking more questions about Nigeria, about her family, about her impressions of Korea. "And you almost drowned?" Soyeon asked. "That's how you met?" "Twice actually," Min Yun said, unable to hide his amusement. Tina kicked him under the table. "The second time was complicated. She pretended to drown to get my attention," Min Yun explained. All 3 friends burst out laughing. "That's amazing," Jihoon said. "Desperate, but amazing." "In my defense," Tina said, "I tried everything else." "She had," Min Yun agreed. "Strategic positioning, casual conversation, subtle hints. None of it worked." "Why not?" Soyeon asked him. "I'm an idiot. I thought she wasn't interested." "You are an idiot," Miho confirmed. They all laughed, the ice broken. Tina felt herself relaxing. Min Yun's friends were warm, funny, welcoming. They teased him mercilessly but clearly cared about him. As the evening progressed, the conversation flowed easily. They shared stories about Min Yun, embarrassing swimming team anecdotes, his terrible singing voice, his obsession with organizing everything. "He color codes his closet," Jihoon revealed. "That's not weird," Min Yun protested. "It's a little weird," Tina said. "Traitor." She kissed his cheek. "A cute weird." Later, Soyeon pulled Tina aside while the men were debating who would pay the bill. "I just wanted to say," Soyeon said quietly, "Min Yun seems really happy. Happier than I've seen him in years. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." Tina's heart warmed. "He makes me happy too." "Good. He deserves someone who sees him, you know? Not just the lifeguard or the former athlete. The actual person. I see him. I know. That's why I like you already." They hugged, and Tina felt a swell of gratitude. Having Min Yun's friends' approval mattered more than she'd realized. Walking home later, Min Yun took her hand. "They liked you." "You think?" "I know. Soyeon texted me while we were walking. Said you're a keeper." High praise from someone I just met. "She's a good judge of character." He pulled her close. "Thank you for coming tonight. I know it was nerve-wracking. Worth it. Your friends are great." "They are.
And now they'll stop bothering me about meeting you.
Were they bothering you? Daily. Multiple texts. When can we meet her?
Why are you hiding her?
Is she even real? Tina laughed. I'm real. Mostly. Mostly. Sometimes I feel like this is a dream. That I'll wake up and you'll be gone. He stopped walking, turned to face her. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me now. Promise. Promise. He kissed her under the streetlights, slow and sweet, and Tina felt like the luckiest woman alive. A month into their relationship, Tina realized she was in love. It hit her one morning, watching Min Yoon make breakfast in her tiny kitchen. He was shirtless, humming off-key, completely focused on not burning the eggs. Sunlight streamed through the window, highlighting the muscles of his back, and something in her chest just knew. She loved him. The realization should have scared her. It was too soon, too fast, too intense. But instead, it felt right. Natural. Inevitable. The question was, when to tell him? She lasted 3 days before the words were bursting to get out. They were at the pool. She'd finally signed up for his swimming class, and he was an excellent teacher. Patient, encouraging, hands-on in a way that made her blush. Good. Now kick harder, he instructed, his hand supporting her stomach as she practiced floating. That's it. Perfect. After class, they sat by the pool, legs dangling in the water. You're getting really good, he said. Soon you won't need me anymore. I'll always need you. He smiled, leaning over to kiss her temple. Sweet talker. Min Yoon. Yeah. She took a breath. I love you. He went very still, turned to look at her fully, eyes wide. What? I love you, she repeated, more confidently this time. I know it's only been a month. I know it's fast. But I do. I love you. For a long moment, he just stared at her. Then his face broke into the biggest smile she'd ever seen. I love you too, he said, voice rough with emotion. God, Tina, I love you so much. I've been wanting to say it for weeks, but I thought it was too soon. It's not too soon if it's real. It's real. So real. He kissed her, deep and passionate, not caring that they were at the pool, that people might see. When they broke apart, both were grinning like idiots. I love you, he said again, like he couldn't stop saying it. I love you too. They spent the rest of the afternoon in a haze of happiness, unable to stop touching, kissing, whispering those 3 words like a secret. 3 months in, the topic of family became unavoidable. Min Yoon's mother was visiting Seoul, and he wanted Tina to meet her. She's dying to meet you, he said. I've told her all about you. What did you tell her? That you're beautiful, smart, funny, Nigerian, and that I'm in love with you. And she's okay with the Nigerian part? He hesitated. She's curious. She's never met anyone from Africa before. But she trusts my judgment. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement. She'll love you. I promise. The meeting was set for Sunday lunch at a traditional Korean restaurant. Tina spent hours getting ready, choosing a conservative dress, minimal jewelry, trying to look as respectable as possible. When they arrived, Min Yoon's mother was already there, a petite woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a warm smile. Iyama, Min Yoon said. This is Tina. Tina, my mother. It's wonderful to meet you, Mrs. Park, Tina said, bowing slightly. Call me Iyama, she said in accented English. Please, sit. Lunch was both easier and harder than Tina expected. Mrs. Park was lovely, polite, curious, asking questions about Nigeria and Tina's family. But there was a reserve there, a careful evaluation happening beneath the surface. Min Yoon translated when needed, kept the conversation flowing, his hand finding Tina's under the table for reassurance. My son tells me you work in marketing, Mrs. Park said. Yes, for a tech company. I've been here about 4 months now. And how long will you stay? My contract is for 2 years. After that... Tina glanced at Min Yoon. I'm not sure yet. Something flickered in Mrs. Park's expression. I see. The rest of lunch passed pleasantly enough, but when they said goodbye, Tina could feel the unspoken questions hanging in the air. Walking back to her apartment, Min Yoon was quiet. "She likes you," he said finally. But she's worried. About the future. About whether you'll stay. Are you worried? He stopped walking, turned to face her. Honestly, yes. I love you, Tina. I can see a future with you. But I don't know if you see the same thing. Her heart ached at the vulnerability in his voice. Min Yoon. You don't have to decide now. I'm not asking you to. But I need to know that you're at least considering it. Considering us. Long term. I am, she said firmly. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I'll stay in Korea or go back to Nigeria or end up somewhere else entirely. But I know I want you in that future, wherever it is. Relief washed over his face. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Together. He kissed her, right there on the street, not caring who saw. I love you, he murmured against her lips. I love you too. Meanwhile, Tina's family was another issue entirely. She'd been avoiding telling her mother about Min Yoon, but Chioma had finally spilled the beans. The phone call came that evening. Tina, your friend tells me you have a boyfriend, her mother said without preamble. Tina shot a glare at her phone, cursing Chioma's big mouth. Yes, Mummy. And you didn't think to tell me? I was going to. Who is he? Is he Igbo? What does his family do? He's not Igbo. Yoruba then. Hausa. He's Korean, Mummy. Silence. Long, heavy silence. Korean, her mother repeated flatly. Yes, his name is Min Yoon. He's a lifeguard and swimming instructor. A lifeguard? Tina, this is not serious. Tell me this is not serious. It's serious, Mummy. I love him. Love? You've known him how long? A few months. Tina, you don't know what love is. Come home. There are good Nigerian men here who... Mummy, I'm not coming home. Not yet. And I'm not breaking up with Min Yoon. Your father will not approve of this. Then I won't tell Daddy yet. Another heavy silence. Tina, I raised you better than this. Running around with foreign men, forgetting your culture, your values. I haven't forgotten anything. Min Yoon respects me. He treats me well. He makes me happy. Happiness is not everything. What about family? Tradition? Your future children, will they be Nigerian or Korean? Mummy, we're not even thinking about children yet. We're just dating. Dating leads to marriage. Marriage leads to children. You need to think about these things. Tina rubbed her temples, feeling a headache forming. Can you just be happy for me? Please. Her mother sighed, long and dramatic. I want you to be happy, Tina. But I also want you to be smart. Don't lose yourself in this. Remember who you are. I won't, Mummy. I promise. After they hung up, Tina felt drained. Min Yoon, who'd been listening to her side of the conversation, pulled her into his arms. That sounded rough. She's not happy. Will she come around? Eventually. Maybe. I don't know. She looked up at him. Does it matter? Of course it matters. She's your mother. But if she doesn't approve? If she never approves? Min Yoon was quiet for a moment. Then, I'd like her approval. I'd work hard to earn it. But ultimately, Tina, I'm choosing you. Not your mother's opinion of me. You. Tears pricked her eyes. I'm choosing you too. They held each other, both aware of the challenges ahead but determined to face them together. The pool looked different at dawn. Peaceful, empty, the water still and glassy. Tina sat at the edge, legs dangling in, watching the sunrise paint the sky pink and gold. 6 months. 6 months since she'd nearly drowned in this pool. 6 months since Min Yoon had saved her life and, unknowingly, changed it completely. She heard footsteps behind her. Min Yoon, fresh from his early morning swim, hair wet, towel around his neck.
Thought I'd find you here, he said, sitting beside her. Just thinking about
Everything. How crazy this all is. How I almost died and somehow ended up with you. He put his arm around her, pulled her close. Best fake drowning ever. You're never going to let me live that down, are you?
Never.
She laughed, leaning into him. Your family's coming this weekend.
Yeah. You ready?
Terrified. Your sisters are going to interrogate me. Probably. But they'll love you. My mom already does, she just doesn't know how to show it yet. And my family will come around.
Eventually.
Tina had extended her contract another year. She and Min Yoon had talked about the future, carefully, honestly. No promises about forever, but a commitment to see where this went, to give it a real chance. I love you, she said suddenly. I love you too. A splash behind them. They turned to see Ji-won climbing out of the pool, grinning. You two are so cute it's disgusting, she called out. Tina laughed. She and Ji-won had become friends, after Tina had profusely apologized for nearly hitting her. Ji-won thought the whole thing was hilarious now.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Min Yoon called back. Just wanted to remind you both that we're still making fun of the fake drowning.
Forever. We know.
Ji-won laughed and headed to the changing rooms. Min Yoon stood, offered Tina his hand. Come on. Let me teach you that butterfly stroke we've been working on.
Now?
It's barely 6 a.m. Best time. Pool's empty.
Just us.
She took his hand, let him pull her up. In the water, his hands guided her body, positioning her arms, her legs. Professional but intimate, the way it had been from the beginning. You're getting really good, he said. Remember when you couldn't even float?
I remember nearly dying.
And now look at you. Swimming like a pro. I have a good teacher. He kissed her, there in the shallow end, water lapping around them. I'm proud of you, he said. For learning. For staying. For choosing this, choosing us. Best decision I ever made. Even better than the fake drowning? Especially better than the fake drowning. They laughed, and he pulled her closer, and in that moment, everything was perfect. Later that day, sitting in her apartment, Tina video called Chioma. How's married life? She asked. Chioma, now 3 months married, grinned. Amazing.
How's Korea?
Perfect. They talked for an hour, catching up, laughing about old times. After they hung up, Tina sat on her balcony, looking out at Seoul. This city that had been so foreign 6 months ago now felt like home. Her phone buzzed. Dinner tonight? I'm cooking, Min Yoon sent. You can't cook, Tina said. I'm learning. For you. See you at 7. Wear that dress I like. I love you, Min Yoon said. I love you too. See you at 7. Tina replied. She held the phone to her chest, smiling. Sometimes the best things in life came from the craziest decisions, like pretending to drown to get a cute lifeguard's attention. She laughed at herself, at the absurdity of it all, at how perfectly everything had worked out. This crazy, beautiful, unexpected love story that had started with a drowning and a fake drowning and a whole lot of cultural confusion. It was messy and imperfect and sometimes complicated, but it was theirs. And she wouldn't change a single thing. K-Whisper TV outro. And that's how Tina and Min Yoon's love story began. From drowning to fake drowning to happily ever after. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell us, would you fake drown for love? Or is Tina just crazy? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment telling us your own crazy love story. And don't forget to follow us for more amazing Afro-Korean love stories every week. Until next time, remember, love is worth taking risks for, even if that risk is pretending to drown in a public pool. This has been K-Whisper TV. Keep loving, keep dreaming, and keep watching.